Hey, welcome to SAB Chronicles, aka the COVID Chronicles. We're going to dive deep into the teachings of a few of our CEO Action Pod groups spanning from 2020 all the way to 2024. This series takes us through the fire of COVID to post COVID, and now who really gives a care about COVID? If you listen to this series, you're going to gain inside knowledge of strategies of the past and strategies of the future. Hold on to your seats as you're about to get a PhD in business. Buckle up and let's get rolling. Hey, are you looking to scale your business from five figures to six figures or six figures to seven figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
Well, since I'm the leader of this group, I'll go first. Lead from the front, right? So I can tell everybody from the standpoint of 5 weeks ago, or whatever it's been now. I don't know. I lost track. But about 5 weeks ago, things were great. Everything was running smooth. And then I decided to pivot the company. And I literally threw myself into chaos. Thanks, Michael. You're part of that.
You're welcome.
So I decided to throw myself into chaos. And, you know, stress is the wrong word because I drink a lot of scotch. It doesn't matter. But really what it is sometimes we can get paralyzed by the fear of the unknown. What's going to happen? Is it going to be successful? Can I successfully lead all these people into greatness with what I'm trying to do? Because people are counting on you. You know, it's not that nobody ever wants to go after 5 weeks. Hey guys, sorry it didn't work out. Right? So the level of, I guess, feeling like you've created a family and you're taking care of your children almost, right? That's an important feeling to have because it stops you from ever thinking of letting somebody down, right? You know, and that's the way I try to think of things. And that sometimes can in turn put a lot of pressure on you as a business owner when you're pumping something new out into the world. And then you got 20 people that are depending on you to follow through with that. So for me, I wouldn't call it stress. I would call it the fear of disappointment more than anything else. And, you know, kind of going back to intuition. I mean, intuition is, we all have it. We all have the ability to, most of us have, I call it a bullshit filter, right? Or the ability to really sniff out something that might kind of smell rotten, right? I think we all have that ability. It's just sometimes I think you have to embrace that ability and look farther outside of yourself. And everybody knows in this group that I'm not the holistic kind of guy of these kind of things, but I do understand the importance of them. And you know, I think we could all, as business owners, embrace some of these things a lot better. And at the end of the day, if you can't do that, just drink more scotch. That's always going to be my answer.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my ramble.
No, I think you recognize that holistic approach is helpful, right? You may not use it all the time, but it's one of those things that if we can get very myopic about what's the best process, I'm going to stick with the best process, and I'm not going to worry about the impact on others. Well, sometimes those decisions actually have a negative effect on our employees. And so if we're not thinking holistically, then we may actually be hurting our company more than we are helping it.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Anybody else got something that's not necessarily a stressor, but just, an issue that maybe there's a block on, right? Coach, I'm sure all of you dealt with coaches before, but one of the things we talk about are, what are those blocks, one of those limiting beliefs that are keeping us from moving forward. So when Jason talked about, 5 weeks ago, wanted to change the whole business, that's a pretty big deal. And he could have very easily wanted to stop and do stop. So what are some things that maybe you guys have been thinking about, maybe expanding markets or something else that has been something that maybe drags you down energy wise a little bit?
Oh, I'm right there with. Oh, I'm sorry, Ivan. I didn't cut you off, did I?
No. Go ahead.
Gentlemen first. I mean, honestly, I'd hate to ruin my reputation this late.
Oh, Robert, you're going to get at the back of the line?
Go ahead, Ivan.
Yeah,
I thought you were waving, Ivan.
No, I was actually raising my hand. So for me, right now, I'm doing a switch based on my coach, where I'm transitioning from one-to-one to one-to-many. And it's a great thing. It's a great transition. It's gonna allow me to have greater impact, more income, the whole 9 yards. But from a mental standpoint, it's a little bit, the word's not scary. It's a little bit kind of, it causes a little bit of anxiousness and anxiety, because I'm so used to doing one-on-one. And I guess inside I'm questioning, man, am I going to be able to give as much value as I've always done with the one-on-one? And I know all of that is really mental stuff. It's the mental game, but it's still something that I'm dealing with right now as we speak, is transitioning from one-on-one to one-to-many.
Yeah, sure. So one, for any of those bigger transitions, right? It's not uncommon to be anxious, if not scared. Period. Right. But I think what you are going to know and you are keenly aware of is, just as we've all made big shifts in our life before, and those big shifts, some of them may have been smooth, some of them may have been rocky, but we're that much more experienced now. And so what we can do is we can reframe, look back on where were we before in a similar situation? What did we do before that made us successful before? What was that thing that helped us with that big transition before? And so the energy in that is, okay, well, actually I came out okay. It was a little rocky, but I came out okay. Why can't that be what you're going to experience going forward? And if you can visualize and embrace that feeling that you have, that emotional piece of being confident in the past and bringing that forward to now, then you're much more likely to bring the energy with you as you implement that new process, moving towards that larger group.
Thank you. That's good. Appreciate it.
Sure. Robert.
Hey, Ivan, I usually love your backgrounds, but I promise all I can see is the elephant peeing in your ear. Could you switch that up? It's quite the distraction.
Well, I actually thought he had a hat on.
That too, right? The elephant's just messing you up back there, man.
Leave it to a Marine.
Oh, that's better. I like that. Yeah,
that's good.
Oh, that's good.
There we go. No, I think that I share a lot of the commonality with what both Jason and I think Ivan both kind of touched on and from different angles was that intimidation factor, right? That the to realize the real weight of the moment and how much really rests, how much of somebody else's well-being really rests on your performance or your ability. And like myself, now I'm not one of these Hall of Famers that I'm surrounded with on this panel. But I've been in the game for 10 years, and even with all that experience and all the examples of success, I think that, and it took a lot of self-development work to even get me to this juncture in life from where I come from. And so these type of topics, these type of reflections are core staples in life for me right now at this moment. Which, coming from the Marine Corps, like Jason likes to keep making fun of me with, that's the achievement, but I think that it's the weight, really valuing the weight, and regardless of how much experience or how many examples of success that you have, even in that exact, line or lane or in that same subject matter, it's always the mishaps and the slips and the stumbles and and those type of events that we tend to latch onto. I mean, just through natural evolutionary tendencies. You know what I mean? And especially a person like myself, that I would give my right hand and half my elbow for a smooth transition in life, because all I've ever known was sandpaper. But but that's definitely something that especially when things are going right, that's when it really rears up, is when everything's going right, and the calendar's full, and you're seeing all these opportunities for how to help people, that you see easy wins for individuals that you have right in front of you, but still that intimidation weighs on you, and having to fight that off is definitely something that I can relate to.
Yeah, there are definitely methods to deal with that weight, right? And those are pretty normal, I think, for all of us, right? And even with that experience, as you said, but one of the things it's also, I think, relevant is that mindset that you bring of, hey, everything's great, sales are lining up, and then you have these moments where it's something pretty heavy. The mindset is so important, and you touched on it. Am I looking at the negative, meaning like, what's the worst that's going to happen, and am I fearful of that negative thing happening? Or am I looking at the positive of the other end of it? What's going to be the benefit at the end? And what I find is we are much more successful if we're focused on the positive of what's going to happen, because we're mentally ready, and we can take that body blow if we have that negative setback. But if we're in the negative moment and worried about it all the time, we're going to draw that into us, and we're going to experience that more and more. So being energy aware, or being more mindful, right, is the, hey, what are my thoughts right now about this new heavy thing that's coming into place right now, and checking myself into what's my approach? Am I being a little more positive about it? And I think that is something that is a muscle that develops over time. Okay.
Yeah, so this is an interesting conversation. Number one, I think Robert's far more of a gentleman than I, so that's why I'm waiting to go till now. But I mean, it's from a leadership perspective, there's not anybody in this room that isn't a leader, because we've all taken on this arduous task of building something out of nothing. For me, probably out of stupidity or whatever, but it takes a special kind of person to do that, and that's an entrepreneur. And I liken it to maybe, I don't know how many golfers there are out there, but when you step up to the tee and there's a lake in front of you, to get to the green, most people, 95% of the people, are going to say, don't go in the water. Don't hit it in the water. And guess what? They go right in the water.
Exactly.
Why? Because they're not they're focused on it, trying not to focus on it. So, I think all of us have to be as diligent as we can at setting up our end goal, and then we just have to ignore the water, because the water's out there.
Yep.
But we can either focus on it one way or another, or we can focus on the goal. I think that's what you're trying to get to. So,
yeah, that's a great analogy. That's perfect.
That was a
Hey,
really
Joel, don't focus
really
on the
good
water.
that was a really good analogy, and the other thing is don't be a snowflake. So.
oh, dude, where's my Kleenex?
Says the guy with snow out the window.
I don't have any snow. I'm in California. You're mute, Robert.
You didn't say don't be a snowflake.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, Artie, I would really like to hear from you because you've had like a ton of shit going on over the last month or so, and well, a couple months really. And how have you been able to compartmentalize all that?
So a lot of times I don't use my head to get out of these. I just I do put my head down and just muscle through it. But the crazy thing is, a lot of times it's for me when I go to bed at night. I'm excited for tomorrow, even though today was crap, and I know tomorrow's got. I can already feel the flames from tomorrow, but I'm excited about it. You know what I mean? So it helps me at least realize that I'm in for a fight the next day, but I'm excited for it. So I don't try to get too complicated with it other than that, because this week's been hellacious, and it's I took a few hours yesterday with my wife, and I said, to hell with it, I'm going to have lunch, and kind of vented a little bit and just said, you know what, this is all going to be worth it in the end. It's just right now I just gotta power through it, which does kind of put a little bit of an anchor on creativity. But sometimes, like an analogy, I said, hon, I need to really slow down and help out the people I have, because we got, I got good people in the fold now. But you know what? if all I've got is a spoon to dig out the boat, and it's coming in 500 gallons at a time, man, you know what I mean? I got to put down that spoon, and I got to get the bucket and start doing the heavy lifting. But at some point we'll get through it. But yeah, I think Jason, it starts with a mindset. At some point, you got to either just realize you're in for a battle and deal with it, or not. That's it.
Yeah. So that's a really good point, Artie. And I think one of the things it's interesting what you said was, you talked about powering through it. And one of the things I know about the level 2 energy is, you're not a victim, you're powering through it. But if we are doing that consistently at work, we burn out fast. We cannot sustain that level 2 energy. It's necessary. We'll have to dip down at times. Absolutely. Like this week, probably perfect example for you. But as you alluded to, creating that space to then be creative, or to do the training, to offload you, so that 2 weeks from now, you've trained up enough people to handle those challenges that normally you would be taking on, to free up that time space to get away from that power mentality. As long as you're thinking and recognizing that you're at that level 2 moment right now, one, you want that time back, but two, your health, right? The impact on our health, staying at level 2 is not good over the long run. And so I'm sure all of you are aware of that, but if
I could stay there for a long time, but even then it's not good. At some point, it's funny, you have my wife, she'll notice, she'll just be one day, she'll just look at me and go, dude, you're tired. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. So, but it's good. It's good to recognize it when it's there, but it's sometimes you just got to be stubborn, and get through it. But
right.
And it's always good to have that sounding board. You brought up another point, Artie, that I thought was really important, because as a business owner, you go through tough times. We all do. I mean, it just is what it is. But you also, on one hand, you want to be focused on your goal and power through. On the other hand, as Michael was saying, it's important to have creativity. But the one thing you have to be careful of when you're going through difficult times is not to panic pivot, right? It's like shift, this isn't working. Oh, shift, this isn't working. I was saying shift like SHIFT. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I caught it on the second one.
Yeah, I made it more, the enunciation a little more clear the second time around. But I mean, it's important. And I think having a sounding board, somebody that you can talk to on a regular basis, that's one of the most valuable aspects of a group like this that I find, is having a sounding board. Hey, you know what? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Is it a panic pivot? Am I making the right move from a external perspective? So great point. I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus? What I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
Hey, Michael.
Yep.
I would say, I was reading your chart. I think you need a basement under the victim one.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been in that one before.
Okay.
And literally, I'm in a astoundingly better place. But you know, we have a certain kind of USP, and I went for about 2 years where I was below victim mode. I was in the actively being hunted, so I'm hiding myself like someone in witness protection program. And we were only absolutely going word of mouth, trying to get our customers to do it. It's, imagine opening a restaurant, not advertising it, blacking out all the windows, you know, and trying to get, you know, the 2 patrons that come in on Friday and Saturday nights to tell enough friends to sustain you. Because we were so afraid, we're like, people are going to take our idea, run with it. They've got tons more money, tons more backing, tons more whatever, and just pop. We we finally got to a point where we're like, it's not use the bathroom and get off the pot. It's grow or die, right? I mean, it is move forward. Because it's one thing to push through. It's another thing to go hide in a hole, just maintain client base, right? Because you think somebody's going to take, your unique offer and make it very not unique, and run with it.
Yeah.
And then we've done a lot of climbing through them. Jason and the team and everything have been very, very helpful. But I mean, I don't mean climbing. I mean sheer cliff face, right? 90-degree, up a glass wall face, and we've made some incredible strides. But it's a different mentality, And then once you get it, all of a sudden you feel like you can actually Nirvana, and I don't mean the band. I mean, they say, no wind, right? You get to the place of no struggle. That doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
You got to check out. If you're on the planet, you've got, you're going to have this struggle. It comes and goes, but it's put us in a remarkably different position. We've, the teams have already powwowed a couple of times over the past couple of weeks, knowing what we're having to do. No, but the level of clarity, it grows. But I'm just saying, I was below the victimhood. I dug a little hole, there's beneath the barrel, the bottom of the barrel rots out. You can go beneath the bottom of the barrel and have the seepage in the dirt below it. So
that's pretty dark there, William.
Yeah.
It's Will Black. So drink that in.
Yeah.
Well, and the problems just become different problems, right? Yep. So
yeah. Well, and rightfully so, to protect that idea, sometimes we have to stay low. And one of the other things I think it's relative to is it's okay to be at those negative levels. Think about like, what was the fight? Was it Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, right? And he's in the corner, and Ali's in the corner, and he's taking body blow after body blow. He's in that victim mode, but it's intentional. It's intentional to get the other guy to expend his energy, and then he gets the bell rung, gets timeout, comes back out in the next round, and comes back. So don't forget that being below the bottom of the barrel in the dregs, below that level 1 or in that level 1, like that's okay. Because sometimes we need to be there so that we can then come back out later on the other side and deal with the shit that's going on. Pardon my French, Joel.
Yeah, I'd rather not be there. Thank you.
Yeah.
I choose not to go there.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Terry. So when I met you, you were kind of in that place when we first met. And, how is this applicable to where you shifted in all that? Do you think? Obviously, you did like huge shifts and pulled yourself up out of that, even when it was just at its darkest moment. Because that's when I met you, was right there.
Yeah, very, very much applicable. Can definitely agree and relate to a lot of stuff that was said. But when times are low and when things are down, it's really important to kind of keep in mind why you're doing it in the bigger picture. So kind of getting more connected to like why and the purpose of this all definitely helped. Also, and this is something that, to this day that I still have to work at, but just also detaching a little bit. Because I know like all of us do, we mentioned about that, like we care about results, we care about our clients, heart's in the right place, but that does present lots of stress, especially like when you're doing what I'm doing, where it's very much bottom line business. They're seeing how much we spent yesterday versus how much we made. They're tripping, over down results in, the last 7-day period when in the grand scheme of things, it's a blip on the radar. But, I was being too hard on myself and I was expending too much energy, trying to control things that I couldn't control. So I still wrestle with that because like now I'm more detached. But it's like, how detached do I want to be? Like, if I'm too detached, does that mean that I'm losing my my caring about it? But I don't think that's the case, because ultimately you have to make sure that you're all right. You have to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do, self-care, meditating, in the hot tub. Things that I do is just really put that in my schedule to decompress so that I can have a full cup so that I can serve those other people better. So when I just work and put my head down too much and was just too all in, I think that it actually had a negative impact. So that was, something that I learned is sometimes you actually need to take a step back to move forward. That's what I kind of personally found out. But yeah, but we have people dependent on you too. That's also a motivator. So I can't afford to fail.
Oh, Terry, it sounds like you're finding that balance, especially like how you talked about meditating, getting in the hot tub, and giving you that space to decompress. And you're also realizing how important it is to stay motivated about helping those people. Yeah, good.
Right on.
Well, Jason, that's most of what I had.
Is there anybody else that wants to chime in with anything else? If you live out in the country, throw a couple cans over the back deck and empty about 100 rounds of 45. That's a great stress reliever. It works wonderfully.
Yeah.
Don't do it in town.
Your mountain man is
ammo
showing.
these days.
Too funny.
Finding ammo is the problem.
Well, that is a problem. You're right. But I got plenty of that. Hey, Ed, how are you?
I'm doing all right. What's up, man?
Hey, not much. How about you? What's your I know you came into this a little bit late, but how do you think you compartmentalize stress and all these things coming from your background?
You know, I used to be a master of compartmentalization. I mean, I was absolute world champion at it. I don't think I'm as good at it anymore. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. I don't know. You know, but good old PT, man, doing a little bit of that, you know, getting down in the gym. An occasional one of these helps out a little bit. Definitely the lead therapy, like you just mentioned. That's a big deal. But I'm running short on ammo right now. We may have to talk about that later on. You know, and one thing. Well, I'll tell you, working with old Artie over here, you know, that's really a good thing. You know, I mean, shit, you know our story. We grew up together, man. You know, so working together with Art is great. You know, chatting with you from time to time. You know, because we got that Army background thing. I just joined the VFW, by the way. I pop in there every once in a while. You know, and it's pretty cool when one corner of the bar is filled with all old paratroopers. You know, that's pretty neat. That is definitely therapeutic for me.
Oh, that's
you
good.
know? Yeah. So I would say the theme to that is connections. You know what I mean? Connections to the things that you know and hold dear. You know, for me and Artie, it's growing up together, playing years of football together, getting our bodies tore up together. You and I got tore up together. You know, sure, embracing the suck, right? Shared hardships. That makes
there you go.
That makes for some some good respite after a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would tell you guys something too. There was this quick conversation I had with Ed the other day, and it was kind of revelation that some of the places where I either lack discipline to deal with, or I deal with it a different way. He compliments like where I'm weak, he's strong. So it's I would encourage you guys too, is if you ever have the opportunity, if you need an operating officer or whatever that is, to pick somebody he's got the strong points where you might not necessarily have it, you know. So, which means he has all the strong points because I'm only good at a couple of things.
Yeah, I guess one of my things I always think about every single day, and when I walk into my office every morning, I instantly remind myself that the only hard day was yesterday. Period. And that sets my day up for a good place up here, and to be able to deal with those freaking nukes that are flying at you here and there. Just remember, hey, nobody's shooting at you. So that's one way to look at it.
Yep.
Nobody's raiding your house and trying to take your guns.
Right. Not yet, anyway.
or whatever that thing is, right? That's how.
No 107 rockets or Scuds coming in on you.
Yeah, right. So every day it's pretty easy to really step back and just go, life's pretty damn good, really. You know, you got to, sometimes you just got to remind yourself that the basic things are what are important. Family, a house over your head, a decent living, and happiness. So, and I'm not much of the mindset person necessarily, but people like Michael can draw this stuff out of me.
We know you're an undercover bleeding heart. It's okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm really a snowflake underneath, I promise.
We know. You just got to get a cute dog. That's all you got to do. It takes all the stress away.
Yeah, you just got to talk snowflake. You don't have to be a snowflake.
That's right. Every once in a while, at least, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, he's Army. He can't help it.
Well, hey, Michael, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking the hour out of your day to come and talk to this fine group. And
hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win. Thank you for tuning in to the SAB Chronicles, otherwise known as the COVID Chronicles. Hey, we hope you took a lot of great little golden nuggets from this episode. Follow us on social media. Follow us everywhere you can follow us for updates on all of our different series of podcasts, to include this one right here. We hope to see you back as soon as possible. And remember, you should always want to grow, scale, and win. We'll see you on the next episode.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God.